later today. Shelter should be pretty good. We get some firewood going up. See, they look just like little tiny apples. And early they're awesome. Got spooked by a grouse pretty good. And I like the stool in here, but I found a nice rock by the fire.
If you can't take care of yourself, you can't help others. Survivalbytraining.com.
So, plan for today, hot tea. Then today we're going to do some foraging for bog cranberries. I'll do some more foraging for wild edibles. We caught fish last night, so I'll go and put bait out for the bears here today. And then we'll check it again this evening. Then check it again tomorrow morning. And tomorrow evening, hopefully we'll be out hunting for bears. Hopefully we get one. I know there's one in the area. I've seen the footprints. They're about the size of my hand. So it's a fair size black bear. Lots of moose in the area. There is lots of fish. I was getting a little concerned at first because I got a couple of bites and nothing. And then last night was just, yeah, we caught fish. It was awesome. So baked fish and fish stew was for supper last night, and be fish stew for lunch today and supper tonight. Yeah. Other than that, today is probably going to be a little bit of a bushcrafty day. I know bushcrafting has a kind of a strange nomer, but I had a friend ask him if I'd make him something while I was out here, and I said, yeah, sure. So I'm probably going to wind up making a canoeing pipe. I'm not a smoker, and if I get the chance and find the right trees, I might even, oh, there's a fish right there. I might even take and make a small game bow, so I don't have to waste my good broadheads on shooting grouse and stuff. So, okay, that's the plan for today. Looking good so far. So remember yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, we talked about banking a fire. So I banked the fire this morning, figuring I'm going to take off. We fished a little bit, went for a walk back in the bush. So I put the two big logs together, the coals on the inside, and put a rock over top to kind of keep all the heat in there. So I'll show you how effective banking the fire is. Lots and lots of hot coals. So I found yesterday that this juniper actually works really good for relighting a fire. Really super fibrous. Saves me trying to use up my jute cord and my birch bark that I harvested yesterday. So I'm going to take some of this. I'm going to put it on top of the fire. It's going to take a minute or so for it to dry out. But once it does, this stuff goes up just like gasoline. I was very impressed with it. You can see it starting to smoke already. This should go really, really fast. Just like that. A little teeny bush bundle here. Once I get that going, I'll put some bigger sticks on it, of course, but see what happens to give it a couple of blows of air here. Look at that, she's right on fire. So I'll put the other ones on top. Give it another huff of air. That's why you want to always bank your fire. No matter how long you're going to be away, bank that thing. Anyways, awesome. Okay, here we are. Trail camera's just over there. We got some stinky fish heads. And I'm seeing bear sign in this area. So what I'm going to do, that's just a trees growling over. A little concerned at first too. So what we're going to do is we're going to break off some branches here. I'm going to put it up. It's going to give me about an 18-yard shot at the bear when he comes in. Hopefully he comes in tonight. kind of what I'm hoping for. I'd love to shoot me a Manitoba bear. It's a slimy fish. It's a fish from this morning. There's a fish from yesterday. From yesterday. I'll take this back with me in case we catch more fish. We can double bait here then. And then, you see the fishes? Beauty. So now what we're gonna do, try to keep the birds off it. We're gonna cover some boughs in there. Hopefully it'll keep most of the birds off. You never know. Whiskey jacks are pretty smart critters. You're probably wondering if I'm worried about human scent. Not at all. What we'll do is right now my fingers are covered in fish. So it's going to be a combination of people and fish. So Mr. Bear's not going to be overly concerned about it. He's more wanting to get fat for the winter. See what we did there? I'll keep the whiskey jacks off her. And then, the shot that we're going to set up is, you can see the one tree, it's a little deadfall about 8 feet long standing up. Right behind there, there's a couple of trees that are laid down on the ground. We're going to set up a blind right there. So it's going to give me about, 15 to 18 yards. Perfect. All right, awesome. Talk to you later. Okay, so walk over to where our blind is. This is going to be our blind. I'm going to sit right behind these logs here. So a hollow depression there. Hopefully the bear comes in from that direction, which is where I've seen his tracks coming in from. And that should give us a fairly decent shot. You know what? Last thing you want to do is get a couple branches in the way. Let's just break them off. Especially with a bow and arrow. You need all the momentum you can get. There. Give me a clear. I paced it out, it's about 16 yards. So that should be really good for us. Now we're just going to sit right in here. That's really good. Clear some underbrush away for us. So when he's in here, we don't make any noise. Drawing the bow. Beautiful. That should work out just perfect. Now hopefully he sees us a bear tonight. Okay. Okay, so today is day number 6. It hit below 0 last night. We actually got some snow, not a lot, just a little bit come down. So today's festivities are 1, collect more firewood. 2, we have to check the bear bait, make sure, well, see if anything's come into it. Hopefully catch some more fish. Yeah, maybe collect a couple of more edibles. I need some more teas for sure. But definitely firewood is number 1 because it's going to be really cold tonight. And then, yeah, check the bear bait. And right now it's about +1 Celsius. So yeah, it's a little bit chilly. So hence the capote's on, all bundled in. Not quite cold enough yet for my wool pants, but that might be tonight. So with the temperature the way it is and whatnot, then the critter should be moving. Well, we got a few air spaces on the bottom of our lean-to, so I think I might grab some boughs or something and fill them in. I thought about putting cordwood walls in, but that's a lot of work. But we'll see. We might have to yet. I'll give it another day and see what happens. So we'll probably end up cordwooding the walls in tomorrow. And then the wind came on really hard last night, so I had to fill the door. I couldn't fill where we load the firewood. Like I'm not cutting firewood. I'm just pushing over deadfalls and running the entire log right into the lean-to. Just saves me having to cut a whole bunch of wood, and easier that way than whatnot. But I do have to drag them a little ways, and I'm running about 7 of the logs a night, which are, I'm gonna say, 2.5 inches around in diameter. Fairly punky because they're standing deads, but it's a lot better than spending hours sawing wood that'll fit into a little fireplace. Just to me, that's just a complete waste of time. But anyways, so those are the festivities for today. Yeah, and we'll talk later on. Walking up to our bear bait. Doesn't look like anything's been on it. No tracks, no trails. Fish heads are still there. Alright, so it's kind of a bust. But that's fine. Can't expect to bait a bear in 2 days. It takes a long time to get them baited, so. Anyways, that's that. As promised, we figured we'd pick some bog cranberries. And here we are. Picked a few today, and we'll come back tomorrow and pick a whole bunch more. I haven't actually picked bog cranberries before, but I found they had them here. I figured, you know what? Why not? What's the worst that can happen? And we'll come back tomorrow and fill their pouch up. We'll go over here and try fishing in a different area today. Hopefully. I was actually looking for a different plant like we have back home. Like totally different. There. We got about 2 handfuls. That should keep us going for a little bit. Here we are walking across a bog. Interesting because when I first stepped in here, it was really spongy. I'm like, do I really want to step on there? And then found a moose path coming across. I figured, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? Look at that. These ones are kind of whitish. Yeah. Figured, you know what? The worst that could happen. Right? Anyways, blueberries not over here, nothing. So, okay. Okay, arts and crafts day today. Told you I was going to build a canoe pipe, and I've already drilled most of the hole anyways with the way I'm going to show you, but I just took a piece of snare wire. Just going to flatten the end of it, just to make a little bit of a drill bit. I'm using the back of my knife, not the blade, just for anybody who wants to know. A little bit more, I think. I just sharpened it up, just a little teeny flat point on it. That. So that's the pipe stem. So I start off with, I just augured a little bit of a hole with my knife. I stuck the snare wire in her. That. And I push a little bit. All the time I'm rolling it up and down on my leg. So roll it up and down the leg, push. It's going to go all the way through. Eventually gets just like that. You can see it coming through. Like that. It's a little bit wet for the wood, but it'll definitely work. You can see it's still got a bunch of cruddies coming out of it. Once it dries out, it'll be really fine. That. Yeah, it's definitely definitely gonna work. So because I use wet wood to drill it rather than dry, I just have a little bit of punky in there. So as it dries out, I'll have to run the snare wire through it a little bit more. Okay. Then this one, I took a piece of birch and I started augering it out a little bit with my knife blades, and then I burnt the hole a little bit, and I'll try to do it a little bit later on maybe. So all I'm going to do now is take my stem and fit it in there, and then poke a hole from here into the stem so I can use it. Like I say, I'm not a smoker, but some people are. Some people really enjoy it. So see what we can do. Just going to flatten the mouthpiece end here a little bit. I hear the fish is jumping again, so we'll be fishing again today. Smoked a fish last night, super tasty. There. It's not bad. The hole's a little bit off center, but that's okay. That worked just fine. Get it all put together, and then we'll burn everything in the fire a little bit just to harden up a little bit. So there, got the two pieces. I'm probably going to thin him out. You want to thin him out a little bit more. I'm going to use it to stick in there. I'm going to use a friction fit. I could do the pine glue, and we might get around to doing that yet. I don't know yet. Won't take very much to hold it in there. So today's kind of a little bit of a cold, miserable type day. So I figured I would take and do some crafting to pass a little bit of time. Temperature right now I think is about 5 degrees Celsius, so it's not too horribly bad outside, but it's pretty good. Alright, so got him narrowed down pretty good. I'm going to stick him in just above the base of the chamber. So let's put it right there. And that's where he's going to go, right there. The old trusty little pocket knife. Never leave home without it. Usually have it in my pocket, but there are other things in my pocket at the minute. I'm just going to make a nice little hole in there I'm gonna be careful with doing it because I did this when it was green, not dry, so hopefully it doesn't crack on me. Shouldn't. So I'm just gonna auger a hole if you can see that. You gotta auger enough I can stick that other piece in there. We might end up using some pine pitch to seat it. We'll see. I'm kind of hoping not. And once I get him cut to length, then I'll just buck him off a little bit so that we don't have it such a long pipe sticking out. Like I say, I'm not a smoker, but a friend asked me if I'd make one for him. I said sure. Just a handy little craft to play along with to waste some time, or pass some time, not wasted time. But and some days you just can't do a whole lot. And today is one of those days. I started out really cloudy and cold and windy and yucky and miserable and wet and snowy, and now I got a little teeny bit of sun. I think we're coming through there. So I'm just going to clean the hole out a little bit. That. We definitely have a hole in there. I just got to clean some of the little furries out of it. Usually I'll take and burn them out. Got the fire inside the shelter I can do that with. So. Okay, so I've got the stem and the pipe warming up by the fire a little bit. I find if you don't, then the glue won't stick to it very well. You see right now the glue's got pretty hard. Just a minute ago it was pretty soft. So I'm just going to heat it up a little bit in the fire. Just a little bit. Like that. So you can be almost pliable. A little bit more than that, I guess. Let's try that. Looks pretty okay. I'm going to heat up a little bit more again. And then I'll wipe it on the stem. This over here is not so hot. Kind of like that, and as it's still warm, I'm going to form it a little bit. The stem got cold really quick, so I'm going to have to heat it up and then put it into the... Yeah, he's pretty warm. I'm going to heat the glue up on the stem. And we'll put it into the bowl. Heat up till it looks kind of shiny. It's starting to go shiny. That is about ready to go. That. Just stick them in, give them a twist. Like that. Get them lined up because we want them lined up for. Just like that. And if you want to, you can heat up here and just squish it and just melt it in a little bit, but that'll be just fine. There's our pipe. Finished my friend's pipe right there, including with the pipe cleaner. See that? With the pipe cleaner and all. Pretty simple way to do it. I'm not a smoker, but I tried it out. It does work very, very well. So that'll make them happy. So today's plan. Grab my cup of tea. I'm going to pick some more wintergreen today. Found a whole patch of cranberries, bog cranberries, over in the muskegee type swamp. So we'll follow moose track over there, pick a whole bunch of cranberries there. And like I say, hopefully get a grouse. Tried fishing this morning and there's nothing jumping, didn't get a bite, nothing. Then you seen an otter come flying through there, so that's probably why there's no fish right now in the area. And he's a big one too. But anyways, so yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Today might be a bushcrafty type day too. I don't know. Who knows really what's going to happen. So I like a stool in here, but I found a nice rock by the fire, so butt's warm. Anyways. Well, I missed them. Okay, so today was pretty good. We went out, we picked some cranberries, we checked the bear bait, didn't see any bears. Some movement around, not a whole lot. Got spooked by a grouse pretty good. And yeah, so we did that. We reinforced the shelter a little bit so wind can't come in. Fished a little bit, but it is really cold. It's like, I don't know, about 2 degrees above, so not really good. So we'll have the anorak on tonight. We'll have the capote on tonight. I put my wool pants on, double pairs of socks. That was kind of the events for today. I finished the bushman's pipe for my buddy. So hopefully it works for him. Other than that, tomorrow should be a little bit better. We're supposed to be down to about -5 Celsius tonight, so it's going to be a little bit chilly. But we got lots of firewood outside, so it should be fine. So other than that, yeah. So really having a good time out here. I've seen lots of grouse keep spooking me, so I would have a heart attack. If you find me out in the bush dead one day, it'll probably be because of a grouse. Other than that, I did see some deer sign, lots of moose sign, bear sign for sure. Like I say, lots of critters, lots of edibles. Just found out what a bog cranberry is. I found one. Yes, perfect. So, and they're not too bad. I think it's supposed to frost tonight, so they should be a little bit sweeter tomorrow. They're pretty good as it is, anyways. So that's pretty good. Blueberries are all gone, but I ate everything I could find. Quite a few rose hips out. Lots of bearberries or kinnikinnick. And what else? Wintergreen. My goodness. If you get a chance to pick wintergreen, go ahead and do it, because it tastes just like the bubblegum. It is awesome. So anyways, see the fire behind me, kind of dying down, but that's fine and dandy. We'll get it roaring up here. Got lots of wood for tonight. keep us all toasty warm. Like I say, block the wind off for in the shelter here. Should be good to go. So hopefully fishing's a little bit better tomorrow, and hopefully you can see some grouse or some bears or something tomorrow. And then we'll fill tags, I hope. Okay, have a good night.